welcome back. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous day on the island of Maui. Great weather in the forecast. The wind will be up, but certainly the sun will be shining. Just a 10% chance of rain throughout the rest of the week. 21-year-old Joaquin Niemann leading the way, 7 under 66, his first ever first-round lead, solo lead on the PGA Tour. He is followed by Justin Thomas, who won this event in 2017 and was tied for third last year. So JT certainly knows a thing or two about this golf course. Speaking of the golf course, big changes made to the Plantation Course. Here's how the players reacted after the opening round.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's going to need some time to kind of grow in, settle. The greens will mature a bit. They're firm and they're rolling good. I think that they'll just continue to get better. And then the fairways, we're used to seeing them roll quite a bit more and the ball actually hop forward. So it's tough. It's playing long. And we had a little different wind than what we're used to seeing. 17 and 18. Had a decent amount of clubbing. The ball's just not. It's not running down the hills and chasing on the slopes as much as we're used to.
It's still the Plantation at Kapalua. It's very similar. The greens are firm, being new greens. There are a handful of holes where you kind of go. You can only land at front quarter of the green, or else it's going over the back. And some of the fronts are a little bit on the soft side, but other than the greens being firm because of the newness, it's the same fun course to play.
It is time now for TP 5 Things to Know, presented by TaylorMade, and there is a lot to know about the Plantation Course. Each green rebuilt and regrassed with Tiff Eagle Bermuda grass. All bunkers rebuilt, reshaped, brand new sand. Get this, new tee boxes at 1, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 15. 5 acres of native rough added to the golf course, and the rest of the golf course was replanted with Celebration Bermuda. There's a lot going on that golf course, which spectacular to the eye for sure. And as we watched on the golf course today, a lot of new out there for the players to take in, especially for those that have played it many times before, not getting the same reaction that it has in the past. For the very latest, send it out to Maui. Welcome in Todd Lewis with Mr. Hawaii, Mark Rolfing. Aloha, gentlemen.
Aloha, Ryan, and yes, Mark Rolfing, part of the rejuvenation of the Plantation Course, and he's very insightful. He pointed out that we've got about an hour of sunlight left here and not a player practicing. Why?
Maui, we're on Maui. There's a lot more to do than practice your putting right now, Todd.
Give me to the Mai Tai station. But we want to talk about how the play was today. New greens, new tees, new bunkers, new grasses. Yeah, we still had 21 of the 34 in the field under par. What was your reaction to the play today?
I thought the course played really well today. Couldn't really have asked for more out of it. In particular, the greens. We saw putts going in from everywhere. The new greens, I think, held up extremely well. I wish the fairways were a little firmer, but not much we can do about that with all the rain we've had, and there may be some more on the weekend. So I think the fairways are going to stay soft, but the greens being as firm as they are, I thought it was a really good test of golf today.
You've watched these players trickle into Kapalua over the last few weeks. Do you feel like most of the field have a general comfort on this golf course right now?
I think they do, but I think for the veterans in particular, they have to relearn it. A guy like Matt Kuchar has told me that. It was remarkable how well he played out there today, and it shows that he really came here. And, yeah, he loves Hawaii, and there's a lot of things to do when he's here, but he's worked really hard the last few days because he had to relearn these greens. He couldn't go to the memory bank and just play it by his memory, and so he really worked hard, as has a lot of these players.
Conversely, you have a guy who is very young, who just won in September, who's leading in Joaquin Niemann. Are you surprised he's on top of the leaderboard?
No, I'm not at all. I thought the President's Cup was huge for him, Todd. He looked like he was totally lost to me the first day down there. Really could have gone south, but he got his sort of land legs back after that opening session and, played pretty decently the rest of the way. And just being picked for that team and being in that environment, I think was a big step in Joaquin's career.
And finally, the next 3 days, you're going to see a different Plantation Course because of the forecast. Today, relatively light winds, 15 to 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow through Sunday, 25 to 30 mile per hour winds with gusts in the 40s. What does that do to this newly rejuvenated golf course?
Makes it really hard. I think everything this weekend and starting tomorrow is going to be about attitude. There are some players that embrace the wind. There's some players that don't. If you get out there, Todd, and you start complaining about the wind blowing and shoe buffing, we call it, where the head's down, the chin's down, and you're dragging, you're not going to play well. But we've already heard Ricky Fowler say he's looking forward to some wind. Justin Thomas is a great wind player. So I think it's actually going to accentuate the shot making and put a real premium on the guys that have the best attitude. Because if you don't have a good attitude out here over the next 3 days, you're not going to play well.
That's tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday.
Pretty much the same.
How about you and I go and find that Mai Tai with the rest of these players?
That's a deal.
All right, let's send it back to the studio.
Certainly, Justin Thomas, a winner here in 2017, won on Kapalua, and then the following week won at Sony, shooting 59, pulled off the Hawaiian double. In very good position again after round one. Here's JT.
Yeah, I played well. I just was kind of patient and steady on the first 9-10 holes. Really felt like I only hit one bad putt. I had the wind kind of pick up on 9 and on that short one, and felt like I needed to hit a little harder and just kind of jammed it. But I mean, other than that, I got up and down on 1 and 7 when I needed to, and other than that, just kind of kept it all in front of me. It was pretty easy.
With some of the changes, especially early on in the course, is it kind of be patient, if you play those things even farther, there's scores to be had on some of the other holes?
Yes and no. I mean, the thing is the pins were front on 1, 2, and 4, and they're downwind. I mean, you at least you can't get close to the hole unless you get lucky and land it short or make a long putt. So, I mean, I landed it literally 2 inches on the green on 2, and I had about a 45-footer from past the hole. So that's just how it is. I mean, everyone has to play in those conditions, not just me. So I understood that those weren't really holes that I was going to attack and make birdie unless I made a long putt. And I mean, I know the back 9 you can make a lot of birdies, and I could have birdied 9 of the last 10 holes today. Really, I played really solidly the last half of the round.